Hey, how's it going, guys? It is time. Minecraft has released the patch notes for Minecraft 1.19 and what they're calling the Wild Update. So let's go through these patch notes and find out what we're going to be seeing in Minecraft 1.19. So at the beginning of this article, it says 1.19, the release of the Wild Update is an upcoming major update to the Java edition and Bedrock edition. They have not announced an official release date, so just keep staying tuned on find out when that's going to happen. And it says right here, it will notably introduce the deep dark biome. It looks like they got a lot of planned additions that they're going to be adding: blocks, items, mobs, world generation, non-mob entities. This is going to be cool. I can't wait for this update. So let's start off with the blocks. Reinforced deep slate, a new block only found in ancient cities. It is obtained in survival mode, has some unknown interesting purpose. Currently can be broken by mining, although after a very long time, and is immune to explosions, withers, and ender dragons. Unlike other blast resistant blocks, it can be moved by pistons. So that's actually going to be helpful. It seems like it's going to be good for like homes or something. So like you could build a home with it and it won't be able to be destroyed with TNT, but they can be moved with piston blocks. That is going to be an interesting theory with this block. Frog spawn can't be obtained in survival, laid by frogs when they are bred with slime balls. Tadpoles explode from them after. Tadpole variant depends on the biome where it grows into a frog. That's gonna be interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work, and with it not being able to be obtained in survival, I don't know if that's just gonna be a creative mode only. Frog lights. So a frog light is dropped by tiny magma cubes when they are eaten by frogs. Has 3 variants: purple, green, and yellow. Which variant is dropped depends on the frog variant that eats the magma cube. So a pearl scent frog light is dropped if a warm white frog eats the magma cube. A verdant frog light is dropped if a cold green frog eats the magma cube. And the orc frog light is going to be dropped whenever an orange frog eats the magma cube. That is going to be cool. So they're going to be bringing in a new light source into the game, which is going to be helpful for a lot of players. And just from looking at the color of them, they look like they're going to be pretty bright too. So it looks like next they're going to be bringing in a new tree. So the mangrove fruit generates mangrove leaves. Okay, so then they got the log, the leaves, and the planks, which that is going to come with it. And it looks like they're also going to be adding mangrove roots. So I wonder if they're going to be adding that to like the oak tree. So there's the mangrove proglu, grows into a mangrove tree when planted. So that must be the sapling that you get whenever you break the leaves. Ah, they're now introducing mud into this game. So mud can be found in mangrove swamp biomes, can be created by using a water bottle on a dirt block, can be placed on top of dripstone to dehydrate and form clay. This in turn enables renewable clay in Bedrock edition. Clay is already renewable in Java edition. Mud bricks. Mud bricks crafted using mud, sand, and wheat can be used to represent slabs, stairs, and walls. I'm liking these new blocks that they're adding, guys. There's so many selections now. Mud is definitely going to be bringing so much more depth into the lore of Minecraft. Skulk is the next block. So it generates in a deep dark biome, has an animated texture, drops only experience when broken without silk touch. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. I wonder how hard it's going to be to break, because it looks like it is going to be a strong block. And it says Skulk blocks grow underneath a mob corpse around the Skulk catalyst. If too many Skulk shulkers activate, wardens may emerge from the Skulk blocks. So the warden must be a new mob that they're adding into the game, because I've never heard of the warden. So we got the Skulk catalyst, which generates also in the deep dark biome, is made of a skulk and a bone-like material, may be used in redstone devices. That's pretty cool. Spread Skulk blocks to wherever nearby mobs dies. The amount it spreads depends on the amount of experience the mob is meant to drop. This means that even if a mob doesn't drop experience as it was killed by a player, the block would still spread based on the amount of experience it normally drops. Okay, so you're still going to get experience or some side of benefit with that block whenever there's mobs near it. Blooms when activated. That's pretty cool, so you'll see it like shine up and everything. Drops only experience when broken without silk touch. It emits light and emits soul particles after a mob dies and grows Skulk related blocks. It's going to have like So many features with that, just that catalyst. Next, we have the Skulk Shrinker, which generates in the deep dark biome again, has 2 soul-shaped patterns in the center, has the ability to shrink emitting ring-like sonic particles, is activated by a Skulk sensor, and it gives players the darkness effect when activated. If activated too many times, a warden is summoned from the ground. Skulk Shrinks summon wardens only if there isn't one within 48 blocks. Okay, so there is definitely benefits with this. It's almost like a portal type block. That's what I'm getting from this. The Skulk Vine generates in the dark biome as well. Generates in a layer of top of block similar to snow. Can be placed in all directions like a glow inch. Has an animated texture. Drops nothing when broken with silk touch. Some have parts that are transparent, allowing the players to see the block it is on top of. May be used in redstone as seen in the video when Mojang Studios talked about the Skulk sensors. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now we're going to go into some of the items that they're adding, which is the spawn eggs. We got the warden spawn egg, frog spawn egg, tadpole spawn egg, the alley spawn egg, which is voted in the 2021 Minecraft stream, Firefly. So I wonder if they're going to eventually bring in something where you can like catch the fireflies and then you can make like a light off of it. That's going to be pretty cool. Bucket of tadpole. Obtain by using a bucket of water on a tadpole, similar to obtaining a bucket of fish or axolotls. Can be used to transport tadpoles to another location, similarly where fish and axolotls. Next, we're going into the mobs. Mobs is gonna be the big one. So the alley, voted to be in the update during Minecraft Live 2021, can find dropped blocks or items for a player, picks up drop items in loaded chunks, and can carry up to a stack at a time, and cannot duplicate items or take items out of a chest. Drops its collected items when in range of a note block. Oh, that's interesting. So don't have note blocks near you or near the direction that it's going to be going if you need one. Firefly, glows in the dark, is currently only 2 pixels big, making it the smallest mob in the game. That is so cool. So like I said, I wonder if you're going to be able to catch those, because that would be awesome if you can. I would love to catch them and like turn them into like jars so you can have like another light source with them. Next, we got the frogs. They grows from tadpoles. Comes in 3 variants: temperature, cold, and warm. Temperature variant is orange, the warm variant is white, and the cold variant is green. Frog variant depends on the temperature of the biome, where it turns from a tadpole to a frog. Each variant is planned to have a unique use for the players, which remains unknown. One known use is frog-like production. Pretty cool. Again, those frog blocks are going to be awesome to use and have. Jumps on lily pads and big drip leaves. Has the ability to swim in water. Eats small slimes, dropping slime balls. That is going to be good because it's very hard to find slimes sometimes. So whenever it eats small slimes, and you're going to get some source of slime balls, and that's going to help with making sticky pistons. Eats small magma cubes, which we know from earlier that helps with making frog lights. Currently, players can use slime balls to breed frogs, might change in the future snapshot. Each frog variant drops a different variant of frog light. Like it said up above, the temperature drops yellow frog light, the cold drops green frog light, and the warm drops purple frog light. Next is the tadpole. Tadpoles grow up into a frog after birth. Frog type depends on which temperature it grows in, can be held in water buckets, panics on land, and path finds to a nearby water source. Also panics if there are axolotls near. Okay, so you're going to have them in like a separate water source if you have pet axolotls on your property or land, wherever you are saving at. So having a second water source that just specifically has tadpoles in them is going to be pretty nice. Warden spawns in the deep dark biome, specifically when too many Skulk Shriekers are activated. Emerges from the ground when spawned by Skulk Shriekers. Digs back into the ground when it doesn't sense any vibration after 60 seconds. So if you're going to want to fight this thing, you're going to have to make some noise the whole time just to get it. I actually want to try it out because I know they released the 1.19 snapshot to like test out the game. So the first fully blind mob. Bats have basic eyesight both in-game and in the real world. Because of this, stumbles as it walks, has a sense of smell. It can detect and pathfind towards the general location of a player or mob through a smelling action. Prioritize smelling the player or mob that has its most suspicious of rather than the one closest to it. Has a sense of vibration. When sensing movement, it pathfinds towards the source of movement. It follows and attacks players, mobs, and other entities that make vibration. It does not attack other wardens. That is interesting. So it's going to attack other mobs and players, but it will not attack other wardens. When it detects of a vibration, the growth on its head rattles and lights up, similar to the Skulk sensor. Seems to follow the same rule as the Skulk sensor when detecting vibration. Any projectile, eggs, snowball, arrows, etc. land near it, the warden inspects the location where it is projected landed. Due to the projected created significant vibration, this feature can be used in order to cause a distraction. Okay, so if you want to distract it and get around it without getting attacked or detected by it, you can use like eggs, snowballs, or arrows just to get it away. Does not detect players that are sneaking. That is good to know. So you can crouch walk just to get away from it. Because of this, it can detect players or mobs that have the invisibility effect. So crouch walking and having the invisibility effect will be a good bonus, but you can't run with having the invisibility effect. Becomes more suspicious of a player or mob as it detects its location for more variance and or smelling. When it suspects the target enough, it identifies its exact location, which aggravates it, causing it to pathfind towards the target to attack regardless of outside distractions. It is the only mob that spawns in the deep dark biome, a mob designed to be extremely difficult, intended to be avoided and fled from. Has a way to counter cheesing strategies like pillaring up to avoid attack. Solution does not involve block breaking, rather more related to physiological effects. Incredibly strong, doing 32 heart times 16 damage, bringing players wearing full netherite armor to a health of 7 health points. Currently has 500 health points total. That is gonna be a fight just to destroy that warden. At least as fast as a walking player. Seems to have knockback resistance. Because of this, the warden isn't needed to receive the advancement Monster Hunted. Warden's chest has a glowing core that appears to brighten and dim the datum with the darkness effect. The core creates a low throbbing or heartbeat sound as it pulses. The sound and animation speeds up rapidly as the warden gets more suspicious of or closer to attacking a player or mob. About 3.5 blocks tall, making it one of the tallest mobs in the game, exceeding the Iron Golem and Enderman in height. However, the Iron Golem has a wider hitbox, so it's gonna be harder to fight, and it is a bigger mob. I want to fight this thing. Bring it on! Bring it on, Minecraft! World Generation. The Ancient City, a new structure that generates within the Deep Dark biome, includes all of the Deep Dark features within, made of deep slate and its variant basic blocks of its variants planks and wool. Contains soul sand, soul fire, and soul lanterns. It contains candles and skeleton skulls. Contains chests with unique loot. The loot is intended to be items that cannot be found anywhere else in the world that provide unique abilities and merchants to players that weren't possible before and are not attainable by other methods. Contains mysterious frames made of reinforced deep slate. Has different levels and open spaces, extremely large in terms of size. Tends to space between Y0 and Y-64. You're gonna have to dig pretty far down to be able to find this city. And it's one of the biggest cities that I can't wait to find. And it's gonna be a pretty awesome with so much loot, so much different items in it. You're probably going to find wardens in it, obviously. Next is the Deep Dark, new biome at the deepest depths of the world. Originally planned for 1.17, then moved to 1.18, and now it was proposed to 1.19 due to increased scope. May not contain any water or lava, may be the rarest cave biome in the game, tends to generate under continental mountainous areas. Generates exclusively within the deep slate layer between Y-1 and Y-64. Contains ancient cities. Wardens can spawn there. There you go. Through the activation of Shulker Shriekers Contains all Shulk-related blocks with the exception of spawners. No mobs other than the warden can spawn there, similar to the mushroom field. That is cool. So you will only see the wardens in this biome, which is going to be pretty cool, so you don't get attacked by 100 mobs because it's so dark. Next, we got the Mangrove Swamp. New biome variant of a swamp contains mangrove trees and are the only trees that can generate there, unlike the regular swamp that can also generate oak trees. Biome surface is composed of mud. So that's where you're going to find all your mud source and everything to get those mud blocks and make some pretty awesome clay stuff. Mangrove trees. New type of tree variant that will be added into the wild update, composed of mangrove logs, generates roots composed of mangrove root block, has propagated hanging from the leaves of the tree found in swamps and mangrove swamp biomes. Next is the swamp. Completely overhaul in the new update. Contains mangrove trees, contains mud blocks on the ground. Frogs can spawn there and fireflies can spawn there, but only during the night. That is going to be fun. I am going to be hunting for those fireflies. I really would like to catch them. I hope you can catch them. Non-mob entities. Boat with chest. So they're finally adding a way to add a chest to a boat. That is awesome. That is going to be so great to have, so you can cross water and have a chest with you. Similar to a minecart with chest, but with a boat instead of a minecart. A player, but only one can ride in it. Comes in different wood plank varieties, include the dark oak, jungle, and the newly added mangrove wood plank variant. Now we're going to go into the gameplay updates. So enchanting added the swift sneak enchantment. This enchantment can only be found exclusively in chests in ancient cities. That's going to give it a challenge of finding it, so it's going to be a rare enchantment to find. So I guess you can't get it from the enchanting tables, just can only find it in the ancient cities. Not be found by fishing, enchanting, and other loot chests similar to soul speed. Has a total of 3 levels, only available for boots. Allow the player to walk faster while sneaking. That is a cool feature. So it'll be almost like running, but you're crouching. It's incompatible with Soul Speed, Frostwalker, and Depth Strider. So you're going to have like multiple boots on you just to be able to do it. So if you want to have Soul Speed or something, you're going to have a second pair of boots so you can use this new enchantment and then switch over to Soul Speed boots if you need them. Next, we got the particles. So the Shulk Soul, emitted by Shulk Catalyst when activated by Shulk Sensors. We got the Shrink, emitted by Shulk Shrinkers when activated by Shulk Sensors. Shulk Sensor Particles emitted by Shulk Sensors when activated by players. And next we got the status effect, Darkness, a status effect triggered by the Shulk Shrinkers block, causing the player's camera to dim in brightness, thus limiting the vision of players. That is going to be an interesting effect. So I wonder if you're going to be able to like make bottles with this and throw it at people so you can dim it with whenever PvPing people. So after going through these patch note, guys, it looks like Minecraft has a lot coming for us. I'm going to take a guess that they're going to be releasing this update late January, possibly later in the year, because there's a lot of stuff that they're adding onto this, and I generally can't wait for this update because they got so much coming for us. I hope you guys enjoy these updates that they're going to be coming out too, and I also hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.